All right, this is the Sports Room Show. Getting to our last segment of the day. This is the last show of 2017. We already played for you the 3 most streamed songs on Spotify. And now I'm going to let Biggin lead this segment. He is going to give us the list of the 5 biggest chokes of the year 2017.
Yes.
Like I said at the beginning, everyone's doing best sports moments, best sports memories of 2017. We're going to do biggest chokes. We're going to do the exact opposite, the biggest blunders of the year. So, Biggin, why don't you go ahead and take the lead on this one if you don't mind.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, some of y'all might not agree with my list, but I feel like all of these were just, to me, ridiculous. I just couldn't fathom it. So, coming in at number 5, easily could have been number 1 to me.
So these are all interchangeable.
These are interchangeable. I have to say the Houston Rockets against the San Antonio Spurs in this year's playoffs.
NBA
playoffs. And more specifically, the last game. James Harden only had 10 points. He was non-existent. I believe he had somewhere around 6 turnovers in that game too. The dude was not taking shots. He was afraid to take shots. He was acting like LeBron James and passing first. He wasn't James Harden. And he wasn't James Harden the game before that. He had one big game where he scored, I think, 41. But after that, it was like beardless James Harden, the guy that came off the bench for OKC.
That was shocking.
It was terrible.
I mean, I remember that. And thinking back to that game, I remember just feeling like,
yeah, where are you?
Yeah, what is he doing? It was almost like, it honestly felt like he was throwing the game.
That's what it seemed like.
He wasn't doing anything. 10 points. I mean, this is a guy who nearly won MVP over a guy who averaged a triple-double. That's how great James Harden was last year, and he's been basically the same this year. And to show up in the biggest game of your career, basically, I mean, I guess he played in some finals, but showing up in a playoff game as big as that one was and laying an egg.
Yes.
The way he did.
Ostrich-sized egg.
That was... Yeah, that easily really could have been number 1 because that I felt embarrassed for him.
I did too.
And he was getting killed the next day.
No, we suck again.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, I didn't understand what was going on because to me that San Antonio team had no business beating Houston. Houston wasn't really loaded, but they shouldn't have beat Houston. James Harden was just not himself. And they were only down 3-2. That's a game where you have to play lights out and you only score 10 points. Maybe he should have shaved the beard that game. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Anyway, that's number 5. Coming in at number 4, the Cleveland Indians. Everybody hyped this team up in the playoffs. They thought they were going to get back to the World Series, thought they were going to win it this year. Not so. You're up 2-0 on the Yankees. Yankees come back and win 3 straight games. How do you let that happen?
Yeah, I heard before the playoffs, guys like Buster Olney and Tim Kurkjian and Ken Rosenthal talking about how this Indians team was one of the best teams they can remember seeing.
Right.
With the dominance they had in the pitching staff, Corey Kluber, Cy Young candidate. Did he win the Cy Young this year? I don't think he won in the AL. He did, didn't he? I'll look it up really quick.
Yeah. But, fact check.
Yeah. With the pitching staff that they had, Francisco Lindor really was an MVP candidate, as was Jose Ramirez.
Right.
There was no excuse to losing to a team like the Indians. And they had that, 21 game winning streak?
Yep.
Or was it just 20? A 20-something game winning streak.
Right.
And the fact that you show up in the playoffs and lay an egg like that, they really should have lost game 2.
Yeah.
That was
that was too close.
That was just another collapse from a team that had been to the playoffs before, or that had been to the World Series the season before. Had a 3-1 lead in the World Series.
Yeah, they choked twice.
Yeah.
So they were.
Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. The Indians in the playoffs, that was a very, very big disappointment.
I guess it's karma for making fun of the Warriors for choking against the Cavs. All right, coming in at number 3. These next 2 are very similar, and I promise you it's not because
it was Corey Kluber won the Cy Young this year.
Kluber, okay.
All right, go ahead. Number 3.
Number 3. Auburn blown a 21-point lead against LSU. Auburn was running my Tigers into the ground. It was so bad I turned the game off. I was hot. Everybody's like, Darius, you watching the LSU game? All nonchalant because I hadn't been able to watch it yet. And I'm like, no, let me go check the score. 21-0 Auburn. I'm like, oh, I'm not watching this. I'm hot. I'm going to throw my cell phone. I tune back in. LSU has won the football game. Now, yes, I'm an LSU fan, but Auburn, how do you blow a 21-point lead? on a not so at the time LSU was not a very good football team.
Right. They had lost already to Troy. They had scraped a win against Florida, and then were kind of on the way back, it seemed like. And this was, I don't know. Yeah, I totally agree. That was I fell asleep during that game, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Watching it, fell asleep because I thought it was done. And never once in my mind did the thought enter that LSU would win that game.
Exactly.
And that really almost killed Auburn's season.
Yeah.
They were still in a position to get into the playoffs at the end of the season had they beaten Georgia, but they would have been the first 2-loss team to ever be in.
Yep.
And so, wow, yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Coming in at number 2, LSU again. LSU
showed up twice for 2 different reasons.
Losing to freaking Troy. You spend $900,000 to play a team that is not ranked, that you have no business losing to, Ed Ogeron, and you go out and they jump out on you 23-0 in the first half. Troy.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you have at number 1 because that to me that's the biggest choke. I guess I know it's number 1, but that was so
garbage,
despicable.
Yes.
And look, I'm a Florida Gators fan, and then just a couple seasons ago, the Gators lost at home to Georgia Southern. That was as painful as that was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was so embarrassing. I mean, it was to lose to Troy. And the funny thing is that after that game, man, anytime anybody wanted to talk about LSU, that got brought up. Yep. Even anytime anybody wanted to talk about Alabama, that got brought up because LSU was Alabama's best win.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was, oh my God.
People still haven't let me forget it. Hey, Darius, you guys lost the
Just a huge black eye.
Yeah.
Huge black eye on the season.
Everything.
Unbelievable. My uncle actually went to Troy.
Really?
Yes.
I bet he was happy.
Now he's the president of Standard Furniture. I mean, and
everybody at Troy was happy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The tweets were crazy. They trolled us bad.
Yeah, dude, that was
you spent money to get embarrassed, and we almost made a comeback.
Seriously.
We were down. I think we only lost by 3, but still to let Troy jump up 23-0. Come on, Tigers.
That was
not go Tigers.
Awful,
no
awful,
Tigers.
Awful,
Neaux. No Tigers.
All right, I already know what it is, but go ahead with number 1.
Number 1 is the Atlanta Falcons blowing a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. How does this happen? Why do you take your foot off the brake, off the gas against Tom Brady? You got to keep it going, dude.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree. And listen, after that game, I remember in the post game, Dan Quinn and Matt Ryan, they were saying things like, everyone's asking questions. Why aren't you guys running the ball?
Right.
Why aren't you taking time off the clock? And basically their responses were, oh, that's not how we do things. That's not our system. That's not what we do. You know what I really hear there is, no, we're just too prideful to run the ball, bleed the clock, and win the game. That's all you had to do. They're talking about, oh, this is our system. This is how we play. Okay, let me ask you a question. What's the Patriots system? What's Alabama's system?
Right.
There is no system. There's only none. Winning. Winning is the only system there is. And when you prioritize sticking to your system over doing what's best to win the game, that's when you just completely, I don't know. That was
yeah. I was heartbroken. I'm not even a Falcons fan.
I was too.
I was broken up.
Look, I'll tell you right now, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
This Patriots run that they've been on with Belichick is unprecedented and is legendary.
It is.
But I can't stand them.
No.
Ugh. And it pained me watching that game. Okay, Atlanta had 2 Gators starting on their defense, both rookies.
Right.
And I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
Bad.
Oh yeah.
And gosh. Yeah, that was so disappointing. I remember just sitting there at the end, how did this happen? What just happened?
It was a blur. 1 minute they were up, 25-3, 25-0, whatever.
28-3.
28-3, and then before you know it, I'm eating wingers. Oh.
Depressed.
New England has the ball.
Yeah.
They're up. What's going on here? I was hot.
Yeah, it was I
lost a bet that night.
I just sat there. I was just sitting there, and I was like, these guys, where's Eli Manning when you need him?
Yeah, where is he?
You know what I mean? It's I can't stand these guys.
Where's the Giants' defense?
But I had to respect it. And, there were a lot of people talking about how that was the greatest game ever.
No.
That was the greatest comeback ever.
Comeback, yes.
But for 3 quarters of the game, it was pretty boring.
Yeah, Atlanta.
I don't remember much about it except for Robert Alford's pick 6.
Yep. And Grady Jarrett eating Tom Brady all day.
Yeah. I don't remember anything else about that game.
That's it.
Except for the comeback, which was 1 quarter and 1 drive in overtime.
Garbage.
And so, yeah, Atlanta, that was
garbage.
That'll never go away.
I don't think they ever
Matt
get back.
Ryan can win the Super Bowl for 4 consecutive years to end his career. Mm-hmm. This will never go away.
Never.
This will never go away.
You blew a lead, dude.
Dude, not only did you blow a lead, you blew the biggest lead in the history of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. 25 points.
2017 been a crazy year, man.
It's been a crazy year. It has been an upside down year, and I'm glad it's almost over. 2018, come on. Come on with it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We release new videos throughout the week. Or you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or you can email us at thesportsroomtalkshow@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe. Watch more videos just like this one.